It's 2023, and the way you'll market your business this year is going to be really different from how you've done it in the past. There are so many new opportunities that just hit the scene, and I'm about to show you the most powerful marketing strategies that you can use in 2023 to take your business from this to this. Now, modern marketing really falls into 5 big buckets or categories, so we'll dive into each one, and I'm going to share with you the single thing that's working best right now for each, along with actionable tips that you can use to bring them to life. So let's just start with our first bucket, content marketing. If you want to create content that's going to really make an impact this year and for the foreseeable future, it's all about short form vertical video. So I'm talking TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. When TikTok took the world by storm toward the beginning of the pandemic, not only did it resonate big time with cooped up viewers, but it also got plenty of attention from other social media apps. First, Instagram ripped it off. Was inspired by its success. Their CEO, Adam Mosseri, actually came right out and said last year,
"We're no longer a photo sharing app." Because let's be honest, there's some really serious competition right now. TikTok is huge. How do we embrace video more broadly? Full screen, immersive, entertaining, mobile first video.
Next, YouTube made their play by introducing Shorts. And whenever these major players roll out new features, they're gonna incentivize you to use them with more views, which brings more visibility and more engagement. And if this were last year, I might be telling you to be a little skeptical about going all in on this trend simply because they were so new and they may not last. Well, I'm not telling you that this year. Short form video looks like it's here to stay, and it's probably your best bet for those higher levels of engagement and to be remembered by your target audience. And if you're worried this will only attract Gen Zers, that's not necessarily the case. First of all, TikTok's user base is aging up, with 53% of its users now over the age of 30. Plus, when you post those same videos as Reels on Instagram, you're able to reach an even more mature audience. So let's talk about what you should post and how often to get you the best results, even if you don't necessarily want to go on camera yourself. So first of all, studies have shown that if you really want to grow on these platforms, you need to commit to at least 1 video per day. To prove how powerful daily Reels can be, Instagram expert Dominic Rieger challenged 5 random students of his to do just that, and the ones who actually stuck with it for 60 days saw their follower counts explode to over 34,000 people. But the slackers, who only posted once per week, grew by about 40 followers. So, elephant in the room time now. But Wes, how can I possibly produce and post a video every single day? It doesn't have to be as hard as you think. So my first piece of advice, don't be precious about the production value. In other words, your videos don't have to look like Oscar-winning masterpieces. It's really not about that. Videos that look like this work perfectly well, and there are actually a few types of videos that you can churn out with really minimal planning and effort. Here are a few ideas to get you started. So you can create videos that offer a quick tip, advice, a process you use, a surprising statistic related to your niche, a product you love, a book you recommend, or a tool that you can't live without. And you can present any of these ideas in any number of ways. You can do it talking straight to camera, or with some related point of view video in the background and text on screen, or even with the green screen feature. And the way this works best is if you could just put aside a time block of a few hours every week to work on batching all the videos for the following week. And I know it sounds like a lot of work here, but at the end of the day, these videos are all super short, like 7 to 30 seconds. And when you consider that you can reuse them on 3 major platforms, the exposure you can get is well worth it. Let's get to our next bucket, search engine marketing. So if you want to get found in search this year, there's a brand new Google update that you need to know about. They're calling it their Helpful Content Update. And since this is so new, I had a bunch of questions about it for one of my go-to SEO experts, Ricky Kessler from Income School. So Ricky, what exactly is this new Helpful Content Algorithm Update all about?
The Helpful Content Update, really, if you ask me, is all about trying to get back to content that was written for people. For years and years and years now, people have really focused on written content that tries to optimize for the algorithm. That's what SEO is, right? Optimizing for the search engine.
So knowing that, what are a few actionable things that business owners can do with their websites if they want to rank in Google search in 2023?
We need to think about what is the intent of the user when they do a search that should land them on your sales page. So what we would want on there is answers to the questions that people are likely searching. We want to make sure that those are clearly covered.
So it sounds like we just need to be super complete on our important SEO pages, right? Like, how do we make sure our visitors aren't left with questions that they need to keep searching for on our competitors' websites?
So on a sales page, FAQs, specs, the pricing, making sure that we're answering the questions people are searching for. On a home page, ideally we'd like to be ranking for the type of service we're offering. And so what we need to be doing is thinking through what are the search queries that people are searching, and then we create the most helpful content that answers that. I'll give an example. For a local-based business, I had a physical therapist that I was working with. He found out that there was no content around how much does physical therapy cost in his particular location. And so he wrote content just clearly answering that question, not just how much his service costs, but how much it costs in the area and sort of what you get at the different price levels.
And the cool thing about this update is it generally means that you can create fewer pages and posts. So in 2023, just go all in on a handful of your most important ones. Remember, going deep in a few key places is going to get you better results than going shallow and broad. Okay, time for our next strategy. Under the bucket of social media marketing, we have the rise of user-generated content, otherwise known as having influencers create stuff on social for you. And influencers bring a lot of benefits with them. In fact, 61% of viewers actually trust the product recommendations they get from the influencers they follow. Now compare that to only 38% will trust social media content put out by you as a business. And that's why this is such a big opportunity for 2023. But before you write this off as too expensive or too hard to coordinate, that is what this tip's gonna solve. Trust me, this makes it incredibly easy and streamlined and really fairly hands-off actually, thanks to TikTok's creator marketplace. TikTok's not only the fastest growing social platform, and like I said, it's aging up every day, but with their creator marketplace, you can find the right influencers at any budget. You can negotiate terms and get them started all through the platform. You don't have to search for their contact info, then email them or DM them like you used to. Nobody has time for all that. But this is how it works through the creator marketplace. Once you set up your account, you can start to use the filters they've got for you to find the best influencers for your audience. You can filter things like the country they're in, or better yet, the country or region their audience is in, follower counts, average views per video, or engagement rate. And believe it or not, sometimes you'd actually want to go for people with lower follower counts because generally speaking, what we call nano influencers who have smaller followings of 1 to 10,000 have much higher engagement rates. To put this in context, the average nano influencer's engagement rate is right around 5.6%, as opposed to 2.15% for those mid-tier influencers, or 1.19% for those mega influencers. But you probably can't afford a Kardashian anyway, so let's just keep things realistic here. And where it gets really interesting is you can filter it down by topics that these influencers focus on. As of right now, this isn't a really exhaustive list, so this will probably only be a viable option for you if your business has a fairly broad appeal, and if you can narrow your audience based on these really high-level interests and basic demographics like age, gender, and location. And this is actually pretty cool. It lets you filter by fast-growing creators only, which is one of the things you'd actually want to be looking for when you're choosing someone. But you can start seeing their prices right away, and you can see what their typical content looks like. I do recommend checking out each profile before reaching out to them to make sure that their analytics look decent, but from there, you just choose the influencers you'd like to work with, pick the goal of the campaign, then you fill out all the info related to the campaign, then you make an offer, and then it's up to them to either accept it or not. And I do recommend working with several at a time because that gives you more chances for for some of these posts to maybe go viral rather than just going all in on one single creator and one single post. And I've got a bonus tip for you here too. So not only can these posts go viral on their own, but you can actually turn these influencer posts into paid TikTok ads. They call them Spark ads, and they can be incredibly effective, not to mention that you're essentially getting these TikTok pros to create your ads for you. So just choose the post that ended up getting the highest level of organic engagement and throw a little money behind it to push it out even further. Okay, moving on to our next bucket, email marketing. So while email isn't the newest, shiniest, or sexiest category, it is the most profitable, which to me makes it a little bit sexier, right? And if you haven't heard me say it before, email marketing actually has a 42 times ROI on average. So for every dollar you put into your email marketing campaigns, you're likely to make $42 in return. But in order for email marketing to work, you gotta get your ideal customers' email addresses in the first place, right? And that's what this strategy is all about, interactive lead magnets. Now, a lead magnet's just anything that you can, dangle in front of your prospects in exchange for their email address. Traditionally, it's been everything from sign up for our newsletter, not great, to offering a really actionable download like a checklist or cheat sheet or even video series. Getting warmer, but those things are usually just delivered for your prospect to act on it all on their own. But interactive lead magnets usually get higher opt-in rates, and your potential customer usually gets a better result too because they're more invested in it. And my two favorite interactive lead magnets for 2023 are timed challenges and quizzes. So a timed challenge is a great way to build a lot of touch points with your opt-ins over a period of anywhere from 5 to 30 days. So the way it works is you figure out what goal or result that you want to promise to help your prospects achieve on their own, with guidance from you, of course. Then work backwards to nail down all the little baby steps that are going to help them get there, and how many days they'll need to do it. So some common time periods for these types of challenges are 5, 7, 10, or 14. Usually the shorter you can make it, the better. Then every day for the duration of the challenge, you email them with that day's activity or assignment that they need to complete. And this works even better if you can vary up how you deliver the information. For instance, if you can sprinkle some videos into your emails every once in a while, you'll take that relationship building to a whole new level. And a quiz works particularly great if you wanted to tailor your advice or action plan to each person's unique circumstances. You just want to use an online quiz builder. I use tryinteract.com. You want to ask the right questions, similar to what you might ask in a one-on-one consultation, so that at the end, they arrive at a result that then kicks off you sending them something just for that specific result. Okay, time for our next marketing bucket, PPC, or pay-per-click marketing. And this strategy is honestly a game changer when it comes to paid advertising. It's all about being omnipresent, or everywhere online all at once. And there's a really easy way to achieve that thanks to Google and this brand new campaign type, and it's a really good one. So good, in fact, that it deserves its own video. So click right here and I'll show you why this is such a great opportunity to be found everywhere online for a lot less than your typical Google ads. So click right here and I'll give you all the details. Believe me, you don't want to miss this.